There's a delivery for you from Emily.
Emily is giving me a gift. What on earth is going on? Cautiously, I opened the envelope and found something like fabric inside. When I unfolded it, it turned out to be an apron. But the moment I laid eyes on it, I blurted out, without ever wearing it, "Sending me something like this, that daughter-in-law of mine, is definitely weird." My daughter, Michelle, said with a pale face.
Mom, just throw that away already.
Around noon, my son, Ryan, whose wife is Emily, came by holding a package in his hands.
Mom, it's Mother's Day today. Sorry I haven't done much for you up until now. Here's a gift.
I fell silent.
What's wrong? Did something bad happen?
Ryan could tell the atmosphere between me and Michelle was gloomy, so he asked. The truth is, before you came, I got a gift from Emily as well.
Come to think of it, she was always looking at Apron catalogs.
Yeah. Emily bought that apron and sent it to Mom.
Well, that's nice. So what does the apron look like? Show me.
Not knowing anything, Ryan said with excitement in his eyes. As I hesitated to respond, Michelle glanced at the trash can.
Huh? What? Is there something in the trash?
Ryan's expression changed completely when he looked inside the trash can.
What the heck is this? Emily went out of her way to pick this for you. You should apologize to her.
Even after seeing this, can you still say the same thing? Can you blame Mom?
Michelle carefully pulled the apron out of the trash and spread it wide for him to see. At the moment he was faced with the unexpected reality, Ryan's face froze.
What the? This can't be real.
My name is Sarah, and I'm 56 years old. I'm just an ordinary housewife with 2 kids, but not long after Ryan entered middle school, my husband passed away from illness. Fortunately, we received enough life insurance from my husband to take care of the kids, so we were financially stable. Although we had no financial struggles, raising 2 children well was no easy task. Ryan, in particular, was always making big statements, but no matter what he did, he never stuck with it. Whenever he stumbled, even a little, he couldn't move forward. It was such a frustrating habit. In high school, after hearing in a special class that being a government employee would secure your future, Ryan came home saying, "I'm going to be a government employee." But as soon as he realized how tough a national exam was and saw his own academic record, his spirit broke. Honestly, I never thought Ryan could become a government employee from the start. I laughed it off and forgave him, but from that day on, Ryan never talked about his dreams again.
Well, I guess I'll just study enough to get into any college, then find a stable paying company.
His big dreams gradually turned into smaller, more realistic goals. In the end, he found a job as a sales representative at a small company. Living a steady life isn't so bad after all. I decided to quietly support Ryan from the sidelines. On the other hand, Michelle, who's 1 year younger than Ryan, always did well in her studies and was consistently at the top of her class. She was a well-behaved child who eagerly helped with chores like cleaning, laundry, cooking, and even washing dishes, so she was never any trouble for me. Michelle always made sure to achieve the goals she set for herself. When she said in her high school career counseling, "I want to work for a major cosmetics company," thanks to her hard work to learn everything from cosmetics knowledge to business etiquette, she landed a job at her dream cosmetics company. After both of them moved out for work, I now live alone. Without the sound of their laughter or their occasional fights, the house suddenly felt lonely. My only source of joy now was the occasional phone call from them. One day, Ryan called. He sounded a bit nervous, speaking very formally.
Actually, Mom, there's someone I want to introduce to you.
Whenever someone says they want to introduce you to someone, even the least intuitive person would know it means a fiancé. Come to think of it, Ryan was in his mid-20s. About the same age my husband and I got married, so it wasn't surprising that he had someone special in his life. To be honest, while I felt a mix of surprise and sadness at the thought of losing my son to someone else, I also understood that, as a mother, I no longer had the right to hold him back. That weekend, Ryan came home for the first time in a while, bringing along a young woman by his side.
Let me introduce you. This is Emily. She works for a big apparel company.
Nice to meet you, Sarah. I'm Emily. It's a pleasure to meet you.
The woman who introduced herself as Emily didn't wear flashy, trendy makeup. Instead, she gave off a refreshing, pleasant impression with her polite demeanor. Since Ryan had chosen her, I thought, maybe I should trust his judgment. I might have been a bit more lenient in my inner evaluation. When she sat on the sofa in the living room, and I started to serve coffee, she quickly stood up in a fluster.
Sarah, let me handle that.
No, it's fine, you're our guest, so feel free to make yourself at home today. Seeing how well-mannered she was, my impression of her improved even more. She had a soft, warm smile with dimples that made her look so charming. Ah, I see why Ryan fell for her.
Huh? What did you say, Mom?
Oh, nothing. I didn't say anything at all. I laughed it off. Anyway, I'd love to hear how you two met. I asked, intrigued. Ryan, looking a bit embarrassed, replied.
Actually, we met at a group date just 2 weeks ago.
Hearing this, I was so shocked I nearly fell over. You've been together for just 2 weeks, and you're already engaged. Isn't that a bit too fast?
I don't think it's too fast at all. Nowadays, quick marriages are normal. I've even heard of people getting married without dating at all.
When he put it that way, maybe he had a point. But as a mother, I couldn't help but feel worried. When Emily left to use the bathroom, I turned to Ryan and asked, I'll trust your choice, but are you really sure about this? Are you ready for it?
Of course. Are you saying you don't trust Emily, Mom?
I shook my head. It's not about trust. I just think getting engaged after only 2 weeks is way too soon. Ryan chuckled as if he found it amusing.
Mom, didn't you have a super short courtship with Dad before you got married too?
He brought up an old memory, and those sweet and awkward moments from my younger days resurfaced. I quickly cleared my throat, brushing the memory aside. That was different. Our parents knew each other well, and we had a trusted matchmaker. Your situation is not the same.
Maybe. But regardless, the fact remains that Emily and I are getting married. Even if you don't approve, my decision won't change.
Ryan looked at me with determination in his eyes, almost challenging me. I'm not saying I disapprove of your marriage. I trust you. So if she's the one you've chosen, go ahead.
Thanks, Mom. I knew you'd understand.
Ryan's eyes sparkled with excitement. Emily seems like a responsible woman, and I'll acknowledge your engagement, but maybe you should date for at least a year and get to know each other better before making such a big decision. You don't want to end up with regrets later. I gave Ryan some advice out of concern, but it seemed to bother him.
You might have just met her today, but I've spent 2 weeks getting to know Emily. I'm confident I understand her well enough. There's no way I can wait a whole year.
Ryan's resolve seemed as solid as a rock. When Emily returned from the restroom, Ryan said,
Anyway, we'll build a great family like you and Dad, so just watch over us.
With that, the young couple left, and 2 months later, they had their wedding. A few days later, Ryan called to tell me that Emily had quit her job and become a full-time housewife.
So that's how it is. See you.
Wait a second, are you sure this is okay?
Emily quit her job for me. She says it's better if she focuses on having and raising kids. Plus, Mom, you'd like to see a grandchild soon, wouldn't you? This is for you too.
I couldn't shake the feeling that he was just sweet-talking me. With how fast things were moving, I felt like I was being left behind.
Ryan got married in such a hurry, but is this really going to be okay? That woman, Emily, are you sure about her?
Michelle voiced her concerns on the phone, but I gave a wry smile. Well, what's done is done. All we can do now is watch over them and support them warmly.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Though we both had our doubts, Michelle and I reluctantly accepted the situation. Time flew by, and before I knew it, 4 years had passed since Ryan and Emily got married. However, I had yet to hear any happy news about them having children. Emily had quit her job to focus on starting a family, but there were no signs of it happening, leaving me feeling restless. But then again, having children is a blessing from above, so it's not something that I could rush. I didn't want to put any pressure on them, so I made a conscious effort not to bring up the subject of children when I was around them. Ryan and Emily came to visit me for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but other than that, we didn't see much of each other. Even so, Emily always acted like a good wife in front of me, and I didn't have any real complaints about her. She seemed to manage the household chores well enough, and there was nothing for me to nag about. But then, at a family gathering, I heard some unsettling rumors about Emily.
When I visited Ryan's house recently, it seemed like they were struggling financially.
What? That can't be. I haven't heard anything about that. This came as a complete surprise to me. Ryan had never mentioned having any issues at work. But then again, he might have been keeping it from me to avoid causing worry. Still, I didn't want to pry and make things worse for him. I trust Ryan to handle things himself, so I don't think it's my place to interfere. But my relative lowered their voice after checking that no one else was around.
The problem isn't Ryan. It's his wife, Emily. Apparently, she's gotten hooked on online shopping, and she's spending most of Ryan's income on it.
No way. At first, I couldn't believe what I was hearing and tried to dismiss it. Though I had only met her a handful of times, Emily always came across as responsible and not the type to squander money on lavish spending.
It's not just me. Other relatives and acquaintances have said the same thing. They don't trust her.
Hearing this with such a serious tone, my doubts about Emily slowly grew. When I later brought it up with Michelle, she didn't seem the least bit surprised.
I didn't want to worry you, Mom, so I didn't say anything, but I've heard those rumors too.
Suddenly, I felt dizzy, and my body swayed as I lost my balance.
Mom, are you okay? Stay with me.
Thank goodness Michelle was there to help, but my heart felt like it was sinking into darkness.
Honestly, I think that woman, Emily, can't be trusted either. We need to talk to her and get the truth out of her soon.
Michelle suggested, but I stopped her. Can you leave this to me? I'll talk to Emily myself and find out the truth.
Should I go with you?
Michelle asked, peering into my face with concern. I'll be fine. After all, I raised 2 kids to adulthood on my own, didn't I?
That's true, but I'm still worried. I'm afraid Emily might say something hurtful to you.
It was true that my distrust of Emily had been growing. But even more than that, Michelle's kind words gave me the strength and courage I needed.
If she says or does anything mean, you tell me right away, okay?
A few days later, I stepped into Ryan and Emily's apartment for the first time. I had tried to visit before, but Ryan would always say,
I won't be home because of work, and Emily would feel awkward being alone with you.
That made me hesitate to visit, even though I worried about Ryan's happiness as a mother. Of course, I didn't want to stir up any issues between me and my daughter-in-law. But this time was different. No matter what Ryan said, I needed to see Emily's true colors. When I rang the doorbell, Emily answered, clearly surprised.
Sarah, what brings you here so suddenly? You should have told me in advance if you were coming.
She seemed flustered but still prepared slippers for me and invited me into the living room. She offered me coffee, just like a proper housewife would, and for a moment, I almost forgot the rumors about her extravagant spending.
Ryan's at work right now.
I know, I'm here to talk to you. A look of caution appeared on Emily's face. She knew exactly what I was here for, and I was certain of it. This is just something I heard, but you've become addicted to online shopping, haven't you? Emily clicked her tongue loudly, making sure I could hear it.
So what if I have? It's my money. I can spend it however I want.
Her defiant tone shocked me. This was the real Emily. I felt a tight fear grip my heart. So it's true, you're living a lavish lifestyle and struggling financially, aren't you? Emily let out a deep sigh.
As I said, this is our problem. It's not something you need to concern yourself with, so please leave.
Frowning, she stood up as if to usher me out. But I wasn't about to back down that easily. You just said it's your money, but isn't Ryan the only one earning in this household? You've already quit your job. Can you really say it's your money? Emily ran her hands through her long hair in frustration.
It's all for having kids. I told you I'm going to give you a grandchild. That's why I stopped working. But things aren't going as planned, and I'm stressed out every day. So what's the harm in a little shopping? You have no right to stop me.
Her logic was selfish and one-sided. That's a separate issue altogether. I tried to remain calm and argue back, but it seemed that even that was too much for Emily to handle.
It's the worst that you're meddling in our private life. Get out!
She practically spat the words at me, her attitude so fierce it seemed like she was ready to throw something at me. There was nothing I could do but leave. It became clear that Emily hated anyone interfering with what she was doing. With that realization, I decided to rethink how I would deal with her from now on. The second Sunday of May arrived. This day was Mother's Day, a special day when children across the country show appreciation and gratitude to their mothers. Every year, I found myself feeling unusually restless around this time. As I returned home from shopping, I saw Michelle pulling into the driveway in her car.
Just got back. Ha! Perfect timing.
Michelle stepped out of the car, then reached into the back seat and pulled out a bouquet of bright red carnations.
Mom, thank you for everything you do. Stay healthy and live a long life, okay?
Hey now, I'm still in my 50s. Isn't it a little early to be talking about living a long life? I said jokingly, trying to hide my embarrassment, and Michelle burst out laughing.
My deepest apologies.
She apologized dramatically, pretending to be formal.
You kept tonight free, right? I made a reservation at that new restaurant that just opened.
Thank you, you're always so thoughtful. Every year, she took me out for a nice meal, so I had made sure to keep my schedule clear. Usually, I'm careful about not being too indulgent, but on this day, I allow myself to enjoy my daughter's kindness. Just then, a delivery truck turned into the narrow street leading to our house. It's Mother's Day, so the delivery folks must be busy today. Just as I was thinking that, I saw the truck pull up in front of our house. It's for us. I wonder who it's from. I couldn't think of anyone besides Michelle who would send me a gift. The driver hopped out of the truck, carrying a package wrapped in an envelope. After confirming the name and address with us, he said,
This is a delivery for Sarah from someone named Emily.
Both Michelle and I stared at each other, wide-eyed. I took the package and stood in the entryway for a moment, too stunned to open it. Emily sent me a gift for Mother's Day. What on earth is going on? Michelle seemed to be just as suspicious as I was.
Mom, be careful. I have a bad feeling about this.
With a frown, Michelle voiced her concerns. Cautiously, I opened the envelope to find a piece of fabric inside. When I unfolded it, it was an apron. But I didn't even consider putting it on. The moment I saw it, I spoke. Sending me something like this, I knew she was crazy, right? Michelle, her face pale, added,
What is she thinking? Mom, just throw it away already.
Even though it was a gift from Ryan's wife, I didn't feel the slightest bit guilty about getting rid of it. In fact, neither Michelle nor I could think of any other option but to toss it out. After noon, Ryan came over with a wrapped package in his arms.
Mom, it's Mother's Day today. I'm sorry I haven't done much for you before. Here's a present.
Before he could hand me the package, Michelle snatched it out of his hands.
Let me take a look first. I want to check what's inside.
What are you doing? That's a high-end watch I bought in downtown. Be careful with it.
Ryan was annoyed by Michelle's rough handling of the package. After checking the contents, Michelle found nothing wrong and handed it to me.
All right, it's good. Here you go, Mom, a present from Ryan.
Thank you. I'm relieved it's something normal.
What kind of reaction is that? I thought you'd be happier.
Ryan seemed disappointed and made a sound of disapproval because I wasn't more excited.
It's just that it's rare for you to bring a gift, so it felt suspicious. Don't make it so confusing.
Come on. I'm married now, and I want to build a proper family. Part of that is remembering to appreciate you, Mom. That's all this is.
I forced myself to smile, something I hadn't done in a while. Thank you. I'm happy you thought of me.
What's going on? Did something bad happen?
Ryan noticed the gloomy atmosphere between me and Michelle and asked, "Actually, before you came, Emily sent me a present too." I hesitated to continue.
What? I didn't know anything about that. But now that I think about it, she was always looking at Apron catalogs.
Yeah, Emily bought one and sent it to Mom.
Well, that's great. She cares about you too. So what does the apron look like? Show me.
Unaware of the situation, Ryan spoke with excitement. When I didn't know how to respond, Michelle shot a glance at the trash can.
What? Is there something in the trash?
Ryan moved toward the trash can. His expression changed the moment he looked inside.
What the heck is this? What's going on? Don't tell me this is the apron Emily bought for you. She went out of her way to pick this out. Throwing it away is awful. Emily doesn't deserve this. Apologize to her.
As Ryan hurried to pull the apron from the trash, Michelle spoke sharply.
Be careful, Ryan. Don't hurt yourself.
Her tone was firm, but it was filled with a sister's concern. Ryan's hand froze before he touched the apron.
What do you mean?
Michelle carefully lifted the apron from the trash in his place.
Can you still say the same thing after seeing this? Can you really blame Mom?
She showed him the inside lining of the apron. The moment Ryan saw the unexpected reality, his face froze.
What the? This can't be real.
There were countless needles sewn into the fabric. Had I worn the apron without noticing, I would have been seriously injured.
This is the reality. This is who she really is. Now, do you understand what kind of person Emily is?
Even after seeing the evidence, Ryan stood frozen, unable to believe it.
This is a serious crime. Mom and I are considering whether we should report this to the police.
Suddenly, the phone by the front door rang loudly. When I picked up the receiver, I heard an unpleasant laugh on the other end.
Oh my, Sarah, did my package arrive? I scheduled the delivery, so I thought it should have arrived by now, Emily said, mockingly.
How can you do something so awful without a second thought? Emily showed no remorse, and instead spoke as if she was mocking me.
It's your fault, Sarah, for meddling in other people's private lives. You deserve to be punished. It's your own doing. Oh, if you got hurt, I'll send you some iodine and band-aids next time.
No need, I didn't get hurt, and things didn't go as you planned. Ryan, who had been silently listening beside me, started trembling.
I'm going.
Tears filled his eyes as he rushed out of the house. The next day, Ryan returned and told me he had confronted Emily, not so much a conversation, but more of a heated argument.
I've decided to keep my distance from her for a while. I never thought she'd do something so stupid.
According to Ryan, Emily hadn't expected him to be at the house that day. She had wanted to harass me in secret, but Ryan ended up finding out. Panicking, Emily became frantic and started spouting nonsensical excuses.
It must have been the delivery driver. Maybe they did it out of frustration with their job.
But even Ryan, as clueless as he sometimes was, could see through her lies.
You should be grateful Mom and Michelle didn't call the police.
When Ryan said that sternly, Emily snapped and completely doubled down.
So what? Are you going to leave me? Fine. I don't care. Honestly, living with you is just annoying and boring anyway.
But Ryan, not wanting a divorce, panicked.
Let's separate for now. We need some time apart. But I don't want a divorce. I love you.
Why separate? Just go for the divorce. That's the logical next step.
When Michelle heard what Ryan had said, she shouted in frustration. She couldn't believe Ryan would settle for just a separation after what Emily had done to me.
I can't believe you, Ryan. You've really disappointed me.
Michelle sighed, holding her head in her hands. I had been wondering something ever since Ryan announced his engagement, and I finally asked, "Why did you marry that woman in the first place?" Ryan fidgeted uncomfortably, trying to avoid answering.
Well, it's not something I can really talk about.
But Michelle, fed up with her brother, pressed him further.
Just say it.
It's because we were compatible. At night.
Both Michelle and I let out deep sighs of disappointment. Ryan had never been popular with women, even during his school years, and had little experience with relationships. It must not have taken long for Emily to completely captivate him. Apparently, Emily was quite skilled in bed. But at this point, that didn't matter anymore. So, what are you going to do now? Are you getting a divorce or not? Ryan responded immediately.
We're not getting divorced. Once things calm down, I plan to fix my relationship with Emily.
Hearing his firm conviction, I completely lost the energy to try convincing him otherwise. Do as you please. If you want to reconcile with Emily, I won't oppose it. But don't involve us anymore. You're not to set foot in this house again. That's my condition. I deliberately responded coldly. Ryan remained silent for a moment, then slowly nodded.
I understand. I won't cause you any more trouble.
With that, he left the house. Afterward, Ryan tried to repair his relationship with Emily, but
Why am I the villain here? It's Sarah's fault for barging into my personal life. I want a divorce.
it was Emily who ended up demanding a divorce.
Mom, I finished work early today. Can I come over for dinner? I'll pick up some groceries.
You're always welcome. I'd love to have you.
Oh, and there's someone I want to introduce to you soon. It's a guy I knew from college.
From work troubles to relationship advice, the strong bond between Michelle and me remains unshaken. As for Ryan, he was slapped with divorce papers from Emily.
All that's left is for you to sign this.
Even though she said this so bluntly, I heard rumors that Ryan couldn't let go and was still clinging to her. I can't say I don't worry about him, but as long as he refuses to move on, we've decided not to reach out to him. From the back of my closet, I pulled out something with the scent of moat repellent. Michelle, I want you to wear this dress when it's time for your engagement.
Mom, you're getting ahead of yourself. I haven't even introduced him to you yet.
I have a secret dream. It's that Michelle will get married, have children, and bring my grandchildren to visit me from time to time.